Between 1460 and 1462, Skanderbeg fought in Italy on behalf of Ferdinand, the King of Naples, whose nobles were divided, many backing an invasion led by John d'Anjou, Duke of Lorraine. Skanderbeg played a pivotal role in the conflict, commanding the forces that decisively defeated d'Anjou at the Battle of Seggiano near Troia. Meanwhile, Mehmed had completed his conquest of the Peloponnese and Trebizond. Upon learning of Skanderbeg's presence in Italy, he dispatched an invasion force to Albania. Skanderbeg's wife, Donica, urgently appealed to him in a letter, urging his return. Realizing his homeland was in jeopardy, Skanderbeg left Ferdinand in charge of the weakened Angevin opposition and set sail for Albania, taking a small portion of his troops while leaving the rest behind to continue assisting Ferdinand. Mehmed dispatched 23,000 cavalry under Hasan Bey to the outskirts of Albania. Upon hearing of this movement, Skanderbeg swiftly assembled 8,000 men and set out to confront Sinan. Anticipating the Ottomans' rout, he strategically positioned his forces on a mountain overlooking the path near Mokra, arriving there under the cover of night before the enemy's approach. On July 7, 1462, as the Ottoman forces drew near, Skanderbeg ordered his men to create a thunderous noise with drums and battle horns, projecting the illusion of a vast army. Moments later, the Albanians launched a fierce assault, plunging the Ottoman ranks into chaos. Many were cut down in the disorder, and the remaining forces fled in disarray. Victorious, the Albanians gathered a wealth of spoils and returned to Albania, heavily laden with their winnings. During this time, Venetian hostility towards Skanderbeg grew, as they viewed his expanding influence in Italy and Albania as a threat to their territorial ambitions. This escalating tension eventually led to an undeclared conflict between the two sides. Trade between the League of Legia and the Albania Veneta was cut off. Enraged by his defeat and sensing an opportunity, Mehmed struck back the following month, sending 3 separate Ottoman armies into Macedonia in preparation for an invasion of Albania. Skanderbeg, learning of the impending offensive, swiftly marched into Macedonia to intercept the threat. Leading a large force, Hasan Bey advanced through the same pass Sinan had taken a month earlier, unaware that Skanderbeg was already prepared. Seizing the moment while the Ottomans remained idle, Skanderbeg ordered the enemy guards to be eliminated, sparking a fierce battle. The clash resulted in devastating losses for the Ottomans, with most of their soldiers cut down. Amid the chaos, Hasan himself was struck by an arrow, piercing his right arm. Despite his army's annihilation and the late hour, he retreated with his most loyal troops to a more secure position. By morning, Skanderbeg realized Hasan's whereabouts and immediately pursued him. Cornered and desperate, Hasan emerged unarmed, surrendering to Skanderbeg and pleading for mercy. Following the destruction of Hasan's army, Isuf Bey set out to defeat Skanderbeg and avenge his fallen ally. With the Sultan's approval, he led 18,000 troops to Skopje before advancing toward Polog near Tetovo. However, his fate mirrored Hasan's. Skanderbeg launched a devastating assault, obliterating Isuf's forces. In the chaos, the Pasha fled, abandoning his troops to be systematically wiped out. Karaza Bey, one of the Sultan's seasoned commanders, was drawn into Albania in pursuit of glory, despite his advanced age. Having previously fought alongside Skanderbeg in Anatolia to suppress the Sultan's rebellious subjects, Karaza had earned a reputation as a highly capable leader, entrusted with numerous crucial missions. The Sultan granted him command of 30,000 cavalry, and he swiftly advanced toward Albania. Unlike his predecessors, Karaza opted to march through Lower Dibra rather than Upper Dibra, passing by Ohrid. Ahead of his main army, a scouting force of 4,000 was sent to gather intelligence on Albanian positions, but most of this detachment was destroyed. Upon hearing of the setback, Karaza erupted in fury, not over the loss of his men, but over his disrupted strategy. Determined to outmaneuver Skanderbeg, he devised a ruse, dispatching envoys to accuse Skanderbeg of cowardice and challenge him to fight in open battle rather than rely on the forest for cover. Skanderbeg, recognizing the deception, dismissed the proposal and sent the envoys away. Seeking another advantage, Karaza attempted to win favor among the local population, but Skanderbeg, ever vigilant, launched a surprise assault on the Ottoman camp. The attack was so swift and brutal that confusion spread through the ranks, plunging the Ottomans into chaos. While heavy rain and fierce winds prevented Skanderbeg from fully annihilating the enemy forces, his troops still inflicted significant losses. Karaza, realizing the peril, managed to retreat with much of his army and fled to Istanbul. The Sultan, recognizing his success in preventing total disaster, granted him pardon, a fate better than that of his defeated counterparts. Skanderbeg secured a remarkable victory by defeating a combined Ottoman force of over 48,000 men in 3 separate battles, the first time he had won 3 engagements in a single month. In the summer of 1463, Sultan Mehmed II gathered a massive army near Skopje, though its target was Bosnia. During a League of Luzha assembly, Tunush Thopia urged for peace, fearing renewed conflict. Skanderbeg opposed the idea, but was outvoted, leading to the Peace of Skopje on April 27, 1463. Despite this, Skanderbeg secretly assured Pope Pius II that he would resume hostilities when ordered. Concerned by the peace agreement, Venice sought reconciliation with Skanderbeg, and on August 20, 1463, they formed an alliance against the Ottomans. Venice pledged military support, financial aid, naval protection, and refuge for Skanderbeg if he were forced to flee Albania. His son was granted Venetian nobility, and his pension arrears were settled. Later that year, Pope Pius II launched his crusade, reigniting the war between Albania, Venice, and the Ottoman Empire. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of legendary leaders.